Yeah, I mean, I guess that's basically it for what I've gotten this year that's new. So. Wow, okay, it's the wrap-up of the year. Or at least it's... I don't know if this video has come out in 2023. I kind of wanted to dive into what I've found to be my favorite releases for 2023. Annoyingly, my favorite releases that I've actually discovered this year came out last year, that being like the Saw Ultimate Collection and Roadhouse. What is it? Is it Synapse or no? Vinegar Syndrome. The Vinegar Syndrome release. I absolutely divine release. I'm going to use images that I find online because I don't have to grab all of them off the shelf. So I'm going to have images there. If you want to check out videos, I've got other videos on some of these. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, that Roadhouse set, stellar, absolutely incredible transfer, which I know is like one of those, Julian, it's 2023 or it's 2024, but we're looking at 2023. Let's look at the year that's just passed, that's ending. What's the deal? How's it been? Yeah, it's been pretty good. Bloody hell, Martin came out this year as well, didn't it? Did Martin come out this year? Shit, I think it did. There have been so many releases this year. It's been insane. Like, I mean, obviously every single movie that comes out it's going to be crazy that they have gotten such great releases, but I'm pretty sure Martin came out this year. Oh my god, Martin did come out this year. Okay, so I've got a list of ones that have been, for me, the most noteworthy. We've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre by Second Sight. We have It Follows, also by Second Sight. The Psycho set, and then the Hellraiser set, both by Arrow Video. The Picnic at Hanging Rock set, and Martin from Second Sight. So 4 Second Sights and 2 Arrow Videos. I don't think I've bought any other sets that I would find to be noteworthy this year. Like anything that's like Major League Limited Edition, that I don't think Killer Condom came out this year, but I haven't also watched it. I want to pin down as well the Exorcist Steelbook set, not the insanely good one that obviously comes in a book. Just the step down from there, where you still get the Steelbook and you get the posters and everything. Just on a production effort, that set alone is really goddamn nice. My only issues with it is that I haven't watched it yet, but I also have the issue of, well, I haven't watched it, that's a big issue, but my criticism with the set being that the Steelbook on the inside has stacked discs, which includes both 4K discs, which really annoys me. So that's wonderful. I've since taken out those 4K discs. I think both of them? No. The theatrical 4K disc I've put into my standard case for the Exorcist set, because I can just stand a bit closer, I was going to lower the camera. I've got I've got this I've put the 4K in here, and that is both 4Ks actually, I was wrong. I thought I put the special features disc in here, but no, I've just taken the special features and theatrical Blu-ray, extended cut Blu-ray disc out of my standard Blu-ray set and put them in here for better keeping, because obviously the Steelbook set has my original Blu-ray and the original special features disc plus the other special features disc, because that set still comes with like 5 goddamn discs. Is it 5 discs? I'm pretty sure it's like 2 per version of the film, 2 4Ks for the extended, and the theatrical, and then a regular for the extended and theatrical, and then an extra Blu-ray for the special features. Most of which I had in this set, but I obviously want to get the UHD upgrade. This year has also been a year where I've picked up a lot of other sets from older releases. I'm looking at all my box sets over there, that's why I'm looking off camera. I don't think any of those were new. No, those weren't new. God, the amount of sets I have around here is ridiculous. Yeah, what would I say is my favorite? Let's take a look at my list again. These are all obviously big box sets. Pros and cons for each one. Texas Chainsaw, I have no cons for. Pros, it looks the best I've ever seen, and I've seen it in 16mm or 35mm. One of the two, I've seen it in its original film print, and that was a really gritty, dirty piece, and it worked really well for the film. And this looks like you're literally looking at a sheet of glass, and underneath that glass is just dirt. And that's what the movie looks like. Not dirt in a bad way, but It just looks like you're like so close to looking at it's the original version. It looks fantastic. It's the best I've ever seen the film, next to the original print. But yeah, it has good special features. The commentaries are great. The packaging is tremendous. The book itself is fantastic. I mean, Second Sight is along the way my favorite brand for like that exact reason. Like you look at Picnic at Hanging Rock, you look at Martin and It Follows. All of them have the exact same thing. They all have terrific transfers. Picnic obviously has slight DNR to it, which is a little concerning, but I've compared it to my Criterion release and I prefer it to the Criterion. But I'm keeping the Criterion as well just because I can. I'm not going to resell that because there's no reason to. It's also not a 4K scan, if I'm not wrong. My Criterion is like just a HD version, but I think it comes with both cuts, like theatrical and director's cut. But either way, the Picnic at Hanging Rock set is gorgeous. It is they're really big sets, tremendously huge, beautiful. Martin's over there next in my Romero collection. That's why I was so confused. Martin was a good looking set. I think I dived into the special features. Yeah, I'm great at this, aren't I? I'm really just like, fuck, what have I watched? Have I watched them? Did I like the transfers? Did any of them jump out at me? Were the special features worthwhile? The packaging? Best packaging would probably go to Hellraiser. Hellraiser definitely has the best packaging. It is an insanely beautiful set. If you haven't seen the set, it's a, hard box, but it's got holes in the front because when you open it up, it has like the meat suit version of Pinhead, basically. I got the Pinhead version. I didn't get the Arrow exclusive version with the Chatterer or whatever it's called. And that sleeves off with like a skeletal version. The artwork in its own right is insanely gorgeous. The book is really nicely produced. The set itself, you fold it out. You've got the great quotes, we have such sights to show you. I'm in hell, help me. I love how that's from the first two films. I always forget that the hell one is from the second film, which is so funny. I like the disc artwork behind. Each disc has like a chain to represent which movie it is. One chain for the first, two for the second, and so forth. They all have gorgeous transfers. I had no issue with any of the transfers. I watched the uncut version of the third movie. Yeah, the third movie. And that was alright. I don't think it's a film that needs its uncut version, but there is a sequence that literally goes into like Pinhead's backstory of explaining basically why he became I was going to say Deadite, the other thing, the Cenobite. So that's a really good scene. It's the only good extended scene in the whole like uncut version, because the uncut version is basically just like a couple extra shots of gore, which you already see in background shots in the standard version, and some titties. Outside of that, it's basically just a really good explanation of his character, which I guess a lot of people will be like, I don't need this, but it's like, yeah, but the version you actually get sounds really thin and generic. In the extended version, you get a lot more backstory to his character, and you're like, oh, actually, this is really good. Why did they cut this? So, yeah. But, yeah, again, they're not... I don't care... I like the third one, actually. I think it's a pretty okay film. I don't like the fourth film. I think it's really boring. It's 3 different film ideas in one, and it just doesn't work for either version of the film that you get, even with the added Hellhounds. But I love the first 2. I'm growing to like the second one a lot more because I love the first one, the mood, the atmosphere. It is tremendous. I wish Clive Barker had directed the second one. It's insane that he only directed 3 movies, and I'm not a huge Nightbreed person, but I've yet to see Lord of Illusions. So, yeah, I have to give that props. It has exceptionally good transfers. I watched a couple of the extra stuff that they had on. I think it was the second film had a interview with 2 guys that went for like an hour and a half of them basically just discussing the second film, which worked really well because it was basically them discussing the first and second film and how the second film adds so much more depth and layers to the first one. You get the special features, like the special effects and all that, them discussing all that stuff. It's just 2 guys talking about the movie, and it's really nice. I use it as like a background thing while I was just, fixing up my shelf, and I was like, yeah, this is what they're talking about is really interesting, because it's like, yeah, it's an interesting way to see someone discuss their thoughts on the movie. It's nothing overly special, but it was the only one I really checked out. But I really liked it, so that was the only special feature of that whole entire 4-pack set that I actually looked at, and because it was like the same length as the second movie. They basically could have had it as an audio commentary. The fact that they didn't is kind of insane. But then you would have been like, oh, none of this commentary is like reflecting what's actually happening on screen. So it's like, yeah, for that reason, I can kind of be like, yeah, sure, as an extra special feature, as just a video of the two guys, that's fine. That works for me. I think they do use clips from the film though, so that kind of helps, you know. So Hellraiser, I gotta be honest, I think that's my favorite of the year, surprisingly. I think just because it goes above and beyond in each degree, for both packaging and set design and artwork, and every little detail about it is tremendous. My criticism being that it removes a special feature that was in the original trilogy set, or the Scarlet Box set, which is like a really interesting documentary, but I already have that original trilogy set, so I don't really mind for that degree. You know, if it still had it, which they didn't have the licensing rights for it, it would have been great. It would have made it the perfect set. I would have given it like a 10 out of 10, but I already have that documentary on the other set, so I don't really mind. Like, I can live without it. But again, Martin and Picnic Hangar Rock, I think I'd argue like Martin and It Follows feel like a very good combination of the two, but they're really not. Texas Chainsaw and It Follows are more similar. With they've got their book, the hardback book, art cards, the 2 discs, bunch of special features. I didn't care as much for It Follows. It's a good transfer. It's the best I've seen the film look, but at the same time, I've never really been overly wowed by how it looks in terms of texture. I've had the same Blu-ray for years, which I've only probably watched twice. I think we saw it once in class in uni, and then I got the Blu-ray and watched it again before I watched Under the Silver Lake. And those are the only times I'd seen it until I got the 4K, and then I watched it on 4K. I'm like, yeah, it's still a good film. I still like it. It's a good transfer. The sound design was much better in Dolby Atmos, so I'll give it that. But special features-wise, I was sort of like, it's just interviews with the people. It's not an interview of the director or an interview with the lead actress, which really sucks. It's an interviews with other people, other cast members, which is fine, but it didn't really wow me as a set. It still got good art design. It still got great imagery, and I like the artwork that they use on it. But at the same time, I'm like, it's kind of it's still really good. Like, for what we get, it's still really good. But it's also like, I feel like it could have been better if it had more, you know, interaction with the director of of the film. Especially given the fact that he only has done 2 films, and his third one is going to be a sequel to It Follows. So I'm like, that's kind of sad. But you know, it's still a really good set. It's just not my favorite of the year. I know a lot of people absolutely loved it. I'm like, I don't know if it's like, if I'm comparing it to my original Blu-ray, sure, it benefits from slight like better picture, better audio, better. I mean, I think my original Blu-ray has like fuck all for special features. So I'm like, yeah, okay, I can't really criticize that. It's a good set. It just wasn't my favorite. Texas Chainsaw I feel like would follow that sweep. At the same time, it has a really good book. The essays it has are really good. And the transfer was spot on for me. You know, like, again, there's nothing in the set that's really brand new to me. I don't think there really was. I think there was maybe a new video essay or something. I think maybe Alexander Helen Nicholas did a video essay on it, or something like that. There was like something new about it outside of the Dolby Vision and all that stuff. And as an overall upgrade, it was, I mean, as a definitive version, it's a pretty goddamn good definitive version. The limited edition coming with the book was exceptional. And that was mostly why I got it for the limited edition, because I was like, do I really need to get this film again? But then I had like the Best Buy Steelbook, which is the 4K scan. I had the 4K remaster. I had the Second Sight Steelbook. So I already had all the same special features except like a few, which again was like, I think, a video essay and maybe an audio commentary. And I had the Umbrella version as well. I still have the Umbrella version and the Best Buy and the Umbrella version I still have. But the Umbrella version is like the exact same as the Second Sight version, with like basically the same special features as well. I think bar a few, but I got it with like a limited edition poster and whatever, so that was pretty fun. So, as an upgrade, it was surprisingly a good upgrade in terms of video and audio quality. I didn't need it, but I don't dislike that I have it. I actually really like it, I could shrug at It Follows, but I'm also like, yeah, but it's still a good set. It's still really well put together. I didn't look... it comes with a book, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. I just didn't look into the book that much. So, yeah. I mean, obviously the book would be a huge props, so at least for getting the limited edition over getting the standard 4K, so I'll give it that. Obviously, but that's a generic. It's an obvious. This is what Second Sight does. They're going to have a great book collection of essays, a good transfer, a good art design. It's going to look fantastic. I haven't had any losses from them at all, and that includes Picnic at Hanging Rock, the one that comes with which was quite expensive, of course, because it came with the original goddamn book, which I did already have in the Criterion release, and yeah, I didn't look too much into that as well. I think that comes with both versions, though, theatrical and director's cuts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I think that was like the only exception outside of the fact that it was a 4K scan, because my Criterion was basically identical, with Second Sight having like a few extra things, like I think another video essay and commentary track and whatever, so not too much to differ, but it was also like, yeah, but if I'm going to watch a version now, I'm going to watch the Second Sight version. Like, I wasn't... The Criterion's still good. I'm happy with the Criterion, but I'm also like... I've also had the Criterion signed by John Jarrett, so it's like, because he's just in the movie. But it's also really easy to get an autograph from him, because he's at, like, every goddamn convention. So, which, why not, So, at least in Australia, that is. Yeah, I can't ride too home about Picnic at Hanging Rock, but I will say that the artwork I really liked, and the 4K scan I was still very happy with. So, yeah, it's still a really well produced set. They all are. I'm looking for ones that really stand out. Like, because if they've set a bar, a precedent that they've upheld Second Sight, and even with their smaller set, something like Martin, still exceptionally made, a great book. I had to chase up the limited edition. That's what led me into buying from Dead on DVD, because I discovered they still had the limited edition and no one else did, and I ordered from them and realized, hey, these guys are are pretty goddamn close in location to my house. So, not too far, but 40 minutes to an hour. Like, it's good. It's easy for postage. Everything I order from them will come in like 2 days. Like, it's great. So, yeah, it's one of those things where that was a terrific set, and I looked for... it was so early in the year that I looked at that many months have passed, and my brain is like, oh my god, that happened. Their special features were really good on that. I can't remember too much of what I looked into. I know I read the essay by Alexandra Helen Nicholas. That was a really good essay. But yeah, so that was a really good set. I prefer the Martin set over It Follows and Picnic at Hanging Rock, despite them being really good sets and arguably better produced. I just preferred Martin, but I think that's just because I enjoyed the experience of having a set and its artwork and watching the film, because I'd seen the other two films before. So yeah, I know I'd seen Texas Chainsaw before as well, but that also has a 250-page book. It's like, this is going to be the staple of like the best release of the year, unless something else surpasses it, which of course Psycho and Hellraiser, I think, surpass it. Just, the criticism for Psycho would be the fact that the first film doesn't have anything new attached to it. Actually, my main criticism for the Psycho set is the fact that it doesn't come with the Psycho, that documentary that was talking about the Psycho films. I can't remember what it was called, the Psycho story, Psycho collection. There was a documentary that came out a couple of years ago that is in a couple of the DVD and like German Blu-ray release, which dives into like every single thing Psycho related, and apparently it's a really good, documentary that's really well produced, or something about it, like really well informative or something. But the problem is that it's not on the set, and that's my only criticism of the set. Outside of the fact that the original Psycho film doesn't have any extra special features, it's still, I think it's The Legacy of Psycho or something like that, but it still has because the artwork I really like. That's a standard set with just 4 cases and a book, and obviously the sleeve. You get the box. It's the silhouette of Mother with the knife, but then the sleeve is the transparent shower curtains, which is really cool. So that's a huge props to that set. That design wise is just a nice, cheeky little thing, and I like that the Arrow have started doing that. I'm yet to get my Blood and Black Lace limited edition from them, but the fact that they're starting to do that now, of adding like little sleeves to make it little, add some extra flavor to it, is really cool. So I dig that. The booklet's small, but it's nice. It's nice to have. The poster is good. Each film has a poster, which is cool, new and old, like original on reverse artwork, as well as the artwork itself. New artwork for each film, plus reversible artwork, which is really nice. It does come with 2 discs for the 4th film, which is the original, like the theatrical, like cut version, technically the one the director prefers, but I actually watched the TV cut because that's the one that it's a wider screen, not to mention the fact that it's literally made for TV. It just looks better. I like that more, so I watched that version instead. I liked all 3 films. I thought the transfers are fantastic. Obviously, if you've seen Psycho on 4K, you know it looks good. The uncut version is great. Every special feature that is on the original Psycho 4K is on this one. It's put right over. Like they got the rights to put all of them in 4K, but then Universal was like, look, we'll give you Psycho, but you can't change anything. We're going to give you our original disc. You can't change shit. The only thing they could change was the artwork on the outside, and to give it the like new artworks for each thing, which is nice. That works fine because I got rid of my steelbook for the film, so I needed to get it, and mine had a faulty disc, so I didn't have like the original stereo mix. And I watched it with the original stereo mix when I got this 4K in, and it was divine. It looks incredible on 4K. They all look fantastic. I have no criticisms of the set outside of the fact that I wish it had the Legacy collection. I wish it had the Legacy of Psycho documentary, and I wish it had the 98 version, because I ended up buying the 98 version from Scream Factory separately, which I feel like if Arrow had and really went hard on it, they could have done a 5-film set including that. If they wanted to, they could have done a 6-film set with the Bates Motel film that no one likes, which I wouldn't have personally liked for them to do that, but that movie, that does exist. Another TV movie. But yeah, that would have, I think it would have been better if it had either the 98 film or that documentary. I would probably praise it as maybe the best release of the year, but because it doesn't, it's really kind of lacks, because it has audio commentaries and stuff by the guy who did the documentary, and they emphasize that it has the audio commentaries and video essays by the guy who did the documentary. I'm like, that's great, but what if I want to watch the fucking documentary? Where the hell is that? You can't buy it separately. You have to buy it in like a box set with like several films, and it's not cheap because it's like out of print. So it's like, well, fuck that, So yeah, and also Psycho 2 was a lot of stuff that they already had on the original Blu-ray, which I did have the original Blu-ray, so I can't give much props to that. But Hellraiser, I definitely can. There's no other set that was just ungodly in how it was designed that I was like, I have to get this. I don't even want to watch these fucking movies. Because I already had the original trilogy set. I'm like, I'm not going to watch the 4th one. No one likes the 4th one. But yeah, my only criticism of the set is the fact that the title on the spine is too damn small. Like, I'm looking for it now. I don't know where it is. I know it's between Psycho and Critters, but it's so thin that if I look onto the next shelf, I can see the original Hellraiser set dead as, because its text is so much bigger. I'll show you. Give you a perspective. So, you got my shelf here. You look here, pretty damn obvious that Hellraiser is there. Hellraiser 1, 2, 3. It's all there. But then you look on here. Now tell me, where the fuck is Hellraiser? Oh, right, it's all the way down here. Look at how thin that text is. You can't even see the Quartet of Torment there. But Psycho, pretty goddamn clear as day, so yeah. I don't know. That's my little ranty stuff. I think just like in contrast to stuff that I've seen that have been better from prior years in production, I will give props to Second Sight for still acing it out of the bag. Every release they've done, I've either ordered or I have been in awe of. I've still got a couple of their releases this year that I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Or I didn't need to get the limited edition, I just kind of did. Like, I got Tangerine, I'm still yet to watch it, but I'm happy to have it. May, I could have just gone with a standard release. I don't really think I needed a limited edition release of the film. And it's a good film, it's a good set, but I could have lived without it. Crimes of the Future was good, but I haven't watched the 4K yet, so yeah, I don't think it comes with, I'm pretty sure it does come with the original 1970 version as well, but yeah, that was just a step up over the Neon release that I had, which I ended up giving to a friend for his birthday. So, yeah, I'm shocked I forgot to mention that, as well as I think Naked Lunch I got this year. I don't know if that was released this year from them. That was a good release, but that's just Arrow Video I'm talking about now. No, yeah, Arrow Video was, yeah, and then I forget they're two different brands, aren't they? They're two different brand releases. That's bloody annoying. Exorcist, I give good praise for it being a really nicely produced set. I would prefer that there was more added to it, like more commentaries and more extra stuff, documentaries and stuff, you know. If they had more stuff to it that wasn't just recycled and just like repurposed, then I would have given it much better praise as a what you get on the disc kind of jazz. But still, Second Sight are still doing fantastic stuff. I wasn't overly wowed by anything that they did this year, but I'm still happy with what I've gotten from them. Their basic sets have been really good. Again, like May, like Tangerine, but then stuff like even Frontiers was good. I didn't care for the film, but I thought it was a good set. But again, Picnic at Hanging Rock, they went really well into doing that as a good version. Same as It Follows and Crimes of the Future and Texas Chainsaw. They're still well produced sets. But again, because Second Sight haven't released any sets this year that have exceptionally wowed me, like, I can only say Texas Chainsaw, because again, I would say Picnic at Hanging Rock, but a lot of people were annoyed that it was so expensive because it came with the book. My only criticism there is that I already had the Criterion, which comes with the book anyway, so it's like, it's not, wow, look, a novel. Like, if I didn't have the Criterion, I'd be like, this set's incredible, but because I have a contrast point, the Criterion release, I'm like, it just looks better, it sounds better, it has some good special features. The essay book is really nice, but I mean, you contrast it to their Drive set, and I'm like, their Drive set's phenomenal. I can't, they haven't done anything as good as their Drive set, I don't think, since. So, like, sure, a 250-page goddamn book of essays on Texas Chainsaw is fantastic, but what they did for that Drive set is spectacular. So Second Sight aren't my best for this year. Shockingly, it's Arrow Video, because as much as my favorite actual release that I've bought this year that isn't a new release, but, you know, came out last year, unfortunately, in 2022, was the Roadhouse release, and the Roadhouse release is so goddamn good. Genuinely, if I had more of those releases from, like, Vinegar Syndrome and stuff, I feel like that they would be hitting my top of the belt, because I think some people have that down as, like, that brand down as, like, their best releases for the year in terms of packaging, in terms of design, in terms of transfers. It is a stunning version. I know I am saying this in a contract, like, as like, oh, I know that there's the 2022 release, but I only got it in 2023, and honestly, I fucking loved it, you know. And to be fair, I did. So the fact that nothing has really wowed me as much as that has is kind of insane. I still think the Hellraiser is a very close second. The perks of Hellraiser being the fact that it comes with 4 goddamn movies, despite the fact that only 3 of them are worthwhile watching. Arguably only 2, but I do like the 3rd one. But still, yeah, it's been an interesting year. I'm very interested to see what they do next. Especially, I want to see what Arrow does in terms of changing their packaging designs and making them more, I was going to say fruity, a bit more juicy, you know? Like what they've done for Psycho and Hellraiser. Hellraiser in particular, holy shit. even if it's as basic as what they did for Psycho of just adding a sleeve, like I think they've done for Blood and Black Lace, that's insane. Like, that's beautiful. That's a wonderful little thing that doesn't really, I don't know if it costs a little extra or not, but I'm like, hands down, fuck yes. If it makes the set look like add the perk, like how was it, Lionsgate did those US Best Buy Walmart releases for their steelbooks where they had a sleeve that added artwork to it. That's a cool idea. You know, utilizing an extra step to make it look just cooler. That's phenomenal. That's really good stuff. And what Hellraiser did for what they did for their Hellraiser set is fucking awesome. Because I think that they knew that no one really, like, I imagine people still wanted to get Hellraiser on 4K, but they really had that hard sell of shit. We're not really adding much in terms of special features and stuff. We've got the book of essays, that's nice, but like you contrast it to probably the Scarlet Box, which I think a lot of people absolutely adored. I never got it, I only got the re-release set of the 3-pack, which is a very basic 3-pack, which is fine. And again, my only benefit there is it comes with a documentary that the new set doesn't have. I think because they had the contrast with that, they're like, we gotta bang this shit out, like go above and beyond to make this exceptional, not just because people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to be rebuying Hellraiser, I don't want to do that, even though the Blu-rays were only 2K scans anyway, of course I want a 4K scan. But the fact that they added an extra film, got you the uncut version of the third film also on 4K, and then added that extra packaging design, I don't even know what I just said, but it translates to bloody hell, that's terrific. Good job, Arrow, we love you. So, Arrow's my winner for this year. That's all I can really say. They've just banged it out of the park with those two releases alone. Like, that in contrast to everything that Scream Factory has done is... That in contrast to everything that Second Sight has done is insane to me. So... yeah, anyway, let me know what your favourite releases are, whether they be Criterion or Scream Factory or Second Sight or Vinegar Syndrome or Synapse or Imprint or whatever label. Let me know what your favourite was. Obviously, I'm limited to what I've actually bought this year, but I want to know what your favourites were. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Adios.